So, hi everyone. Today I wanted to share about this resume, a digital form of this resume that I built just in order to, showcase whatever experience that I have into a nice presentable format, which is kind of like a resume itself, inspired by latex formatting. I'll go deep down into the decisions made into building this. If you're a developer, I hope that you would like this or appreciate the pattern of consuming the data source and then presenting all of this in a presentable fashion in a resume. Now, one more thing that I also want to share is this little feature that I built is chat with resume. So let me ask a question with my resume. I essentially built this for people who want to chat with my resume. So let's ask something about my work. So how much total years of experience does Milind have? Give me in a tabular format. I hope the AI gods work around, and yes, they have. Approximately 4 years of experience. I think if I exclude the internship days, it'll be around 3.5 years. But the idea is that I'm using a library called Streamdown to render all the AI responses over here. I'm using AI SDK to interact with the AI API, which is a Grok in this case, which is really free, absolutely free at this point, which is using GPT OSS model, which is the 20 billion parameter, and I have fed the prompt and my resume in a JSON format, excluding my all the personal details, and conditioning it to just answer about my work experience so that it can cater to people who want to chat. So moving on from this feature, I also have a nice little dark mode. I've tried to also limit my experiences to two, just so that it's been growing over the past few years now. So I've gathered a lot of experience. So I'm trying to keep it minimal so that it does not bloat the experience. But if people want to read more, they can of course press show more, and if they want to engage into learning about my experience, they can of course read it, and of course show less. Even about the projects, if I have too many projects, I have done the same stuff over here, even in the certificates. Yeah, so mostly it references as well. So coming on to the interesting part of the project, which is the code. If I show you, this is my resume view component, and like I showed you, I'm defaulting the items to 2 right now. This is of course configurable so that I can tweak it later on. But where the data comes from is a nice little JSON schema that I have, which I follow. I also made a previous project using this, which is JSON resume. So this is a nice little schema that these guys propose. This is absolutely open source, and this is where the idea for building a resume in my preferred stack, which is Next.js and all things React. So I wanted to do this. So this is how the schema looks like. We have the basics, the name, label, and everything in a nice little schema, so that it is legible to the computer or the software, so that it can render things accordingly. And what loves JSONs really well? React. React loves JSON. So I mean, I preferably love JSON the most. So here's my resume component, and I feed the JSON into it. So if you can see here, I have the data coming over here from the top level. So if I show you the page, we have the resume data from here. So when this component gets fed by the resume, it starts rendering them. So you have some little header stuff over here just to notify about the chat with resume feature. Then I have the work experience over here. I'm slicing it to default items that I want to show, and if that state is flipped, I show all of them. And one more important thing that I also wanted to emphasize is this one is print friendly. So if you try to print it, it will of course be print friendly. If you want to show everything and then print it, so it will show everything over here. So keeping it, if let's say if I want to keep it minimal, it will be minimal. So the tech behind is that I'm just giving pseudo class called print hidden, which will not appear in the print all over here. So if you can see, we have the print hidden class over here, so that whenever we try to print it, it display none it. So moving on, into the latex rendering engine that I have provided it over here is something called latex css. So this resume does feel like kind of a latex format. All the css behind it is using latex css. If I have the site over here, so yeah, the author, of course, all props to the author. Of course, I have starred it, and all props to it. I just have to insert a link tag to my head in the layout of my next JS project, and it will automatically start looking at like this. So it has all the pros related stuff, so that it can start looking like a latex format. All the links will be styled in a certain way. We have math jacks and um, all the table rendering, and all the latex formatting is pre-built. So yeah, I've tried to use this and you know cook this resume. So moving on to my resume, and if we look at the chat page, this is of course a simple chat page which has this API. If I show you the prompt as well, so this is a system prompt that you're an expert assistant tasked with helping potential employers by answering questions strictly based on the candidate's resume, and here is the resume text. But to bring in the resume text, I'm just pulling in the data from the resume like I showed you, which is in a nice structured format, but I'm redacting the all the personal information because I don't want to feed it to the LLM for that matter. And on the front end, if I show you, we just have these messages categorized as user message, and the response messages which come from the AI streamed down using the response element, which gladly comes from a library called stream down, which I also have been a contributor to. So yeah, that's mostly it. And if you guys want to try it out, you can look up to resume.milind.app, and this is of course proudly open source. If you guys want to hack around it and build your own resume, I highly encourage you to hack this project, fork it, clone it, and spin up your own versions of the resume. I hope you like it. Thank you for watching.